We just finished an incredible drive across the Colorado Rocky Mountains and have now arrived at Arches National Park. Over the next 3 days, we're going to explore both Arches and Canyonlands National Parks. Then, we're heading south to take in some of southern Utah's absolutely breathtaking landscapes on the way to Arizona. In previous years, we've visited Zion, Bryce Canyon, and Capitol Reef National Parks, but Arches and Canyonlands have remained just out of reach. By the end of this video, we will complete the circuit through Utah's Big 5 national parks. So as many of you know, Arches and Canyonlands are both world famous for their landscape photo ops. And as a photographer, you can probably guess that's what we're going to be after on this mission. Does that mean we're not going to be able to go out and enjoy the parks? Hell no. We've got hikes planned and a lot of other fun stuff to do. But from the photography standpoint, we're certainly going to be looking for the golden and blue hours that make both parks, but especially Arches, so world famous. And just get the dramatic scenes from Canyonlands as well. And then we'll be going down to southern Utah to get, because they're just as spectacularly beautiful down there. So let's go take some photos.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit out there, we like to party. Listen up, yeah, it's time to start it. And I know you got it. You with me, let's rock this party. All the girls on the side say, and all my fellas on the side say, tonight we're gonna fly high to the skies, cause we're gonna have a taste of the good life. Here we go, here we go, here we go up. We're gonna rock this club till it goes up. Yeah, we're gonna live a good life. Yeah, we're gonna do it all night. Tonight, we're gonna live the good life.
So before we go any further, let's take a quick pause to go over the difference between the golden and the blue hours. The golden hour, for example, is that hour right after sunrise or right before sunset. And it gets its name because that really low angle sunlight just bathes the landscape in that beautiful golden warm color. Now, let's look at the blue hour, for example. The blue hour is that hour that occurs right after sunset or right before sunrise, when you get those really nice bluish purpley dawn and dusk colors. And Arches and Canyonlands are both really well known for both golden and blue hour shots, so we're going to go try and get some of those today. Well, we only had about an hour and a half in the park on this first day, but even the somewhat frantic reconnaissance mission still yielded great results. With it all but completely dark now, I think it's time we're going to head back to Moab for the night. We'll be back in the morning first thing for the sunrise, so we'll see you then. It's a cold morning, and we're already well into the blue hour, so we're heading to the La Salle Mountains lookout near the main entrance to shoot the sunrise. Delicate Arch is by far the most famous arch in Arches National Park. You'll find it all over the Utah tourism promotions, outdoor recreation guides, as well as government websites. Heck, it's even on the Utah license plate itself. I unfortunately had planned a hike in a different part of the park, so I didn't have time to take on the 3-mile hike all the way to Delicate Arch, but that didn't stop me from photographing it. So it turns out that a short distance down the road from the trailhead that goes out to Delicate Arch, there is actually another trail. That trail is about half a mile long and takes you out to a viewpoint of Delicate Arch. With the help of my trusty telephoto lens here, I was hoping to get a good shot from that viewpoint. But I got to the trailhead only to discover that that trail was closed for maintenance. So that forced me to turn to Plan C, which was a lower, further away lookout of Delicate Arch that was right off the parking lot. Now, are these shots my best work? Not by any means, but given the circumstances, all I gotta say is, telephoto lens for the win. And that hike I chose over Delicate Arch is the Devil's Garden hike to Landscape Arch. It's about a mile each way with little elevation gain, but you'll see countless arches along the way, which I think is a much better bang for the buck than the hike to Delicate Arch.
Hey, where have you been? I've been looking for you now and then. Someone just like you, who can make me feel the way you do. 'Cause if I'm the ocean, you're the rain. We only need each other, baby, you know we're the same. Let's run away. All I need is you, now and always. You and me, we don't need no one else than each other. You and me, we could run away. You and me together, baby, we don't gotta stay. Let's lose our minds. We could go crazy and leave it all behind.
On September 1st, 1991, hikers at Landscape Arch noticed cracks starting to form along the bottom of the arch. Then, without warning, a 60-foot slab containing 180 tons of rock came crashing down from the bottom of the arch. The pile of rock debris still sits under Landscape Arch today.
Say what you feel. I don't even know if this is real. How can you like me? You're as close to perfect as anyone can be. You and me, we don't need no one else than each other. You and me. We could run away. You and me together, baby, we don't gotta stay. We don't have to stay. Let's lose before the rain. We only need each other, baby, you know we're the same. It could be glorious, 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 glorious. It could be glorious, 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 glorious.
Our final stop at Arches before we head over to Canyonlands is at the Windows. The trail is a short 3/4 mile loop through about 5 or 6 arches, highlighted by the double arch that is the Windows. You can hike right up underneath them and take in the beautiful vistas in all directions. Much like the Grand Canyon is split into the north and south rim, Canyonlands National Park is also divided into 2 districts. Up to the north here, you have the Island in the Sky district. That's the primary district in the park. It's where most of the tourists go. It's located about 30 minutes from the entrance to Arches. Further to the south here, you have the Needles district. It's located about 70 miles south of Moab. It's much more rugged, much more rustic, much more backcountry. It's a real popular camping spot. We'll be visiting Island in the Sky this afternoon and heading to Needles tomorrow. Let's go. We'll start our Canyonlands adventure at Grand View Point at the south end of Island in the Sky. And like the Grand Canyon, Canyonlands leaves a breathtaking first impression. to Grandview Point is the Orange Cliffs Overlook. It doesn't have the near 360-degree views that Grandview Point has, but they're still pretty spectacular. Our next stop is at Candlestick Overlook. You can say what you want about December weather at the high elevations of Utah, but if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. It will change, and it will be breathtaking. Near the end of Upheaval Dome Road is another short hike to the top of Whale Rock. Let's poke our nose up there to see if a little elevation can give us any good photo ops. On our way back to the main road from Whale Rock, there's a spectacular lookout on the side of the road that we managed to time perfectly to see it bathed in the beautiful warm and golden late afternoon sun. Located on the eastern flank of Island in the Sky, Mesa Arch is the best spot in Canyonlands National Park to watch the sunrise. As a result, it's an incredibly popular Instagram spot. Now, I'm not an Instagrammer, but what you're about to see here is going to make every Instagrammer out there incredibly jealous, even on a crappy, cloudy, overcast December afternoon.
Can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon and the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a wreck. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today, well, something's gotta give. Today is a good day. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow.
Just as Arches is famous for its golden and blue hour shots, so is Canyonlands. However, the weather today, to say it was fickle, is an understatement. The sun comes out briefly, then the clouds roll back in. 5 minutes later, it'll be raining. Then just as quickly, the rain will stop, the sun will come back out, and the whole thing repeats. But that being said, we're going to try and head over to the Green River Overlook to try and catch the sunset. So fingers crossed that the weather cooperates.
Imagine a perfect day, absolutely flawless in every way. That's the day I'm having right now. I pinch my arm to believe. I wish I could stay right here and never leave. Wait up, sundown, wait a while. I don't want this day to end. Wait up, sundown, wait a while before the night descends.
Well, it looks like the weather is just not going to cooperate to give us a sunset tonight here at Canyonlands. I've had plenty of busts chasing storms over the years, and this is no different. It will happen. But given our success this morning over at Arches, 2 out of 3 isn't bad, especially for mid-December. So I think we're going to call it a day and head back to Moab for the night. We've got the whole Needles district of Canyonlands to explore tomorrow.
Standing in the rain.
So, we may have a little bit of an issue today. I got up this morning and discovered that there are currently winter storm warnings out for San Juan County, which is the next county down to the south. And I can pull up the map right here, but not only is that where the Needles district of Canyonlands National Park is, it's also exactly where you have to drive through to get down to Arizona. And they're currently calling for about 8 to 10 inches of snow, single-digit temperatures, and some pretty bitterly cold wind chills above 5,000 feet. And further complicating that matter is we've got a 7,000-foot mountain pass in that area that we have to go over as well. And as you can see on this map here, the only available alternative route is to go I-70 down to 15. And that's supposed to be in even worse shape because of the snow. So we're definitely going to play things by ear today. We will be heading south. Right now the question is whether we'll be able to stop at Needles or not. But my gut feeling is that I'd like to get through this warned area as soon as possible. But the good news is even if we do get stuffed at Canyonlands, there's plenty of other stuff we can go see and go do in both in southern Utah and in northern Arizona. As we set off from Moab heading south, driving conditions are fine down here in the valley, but in the back of your mind you just know that conditions are going to deteriorate as soon as you begin the climb up into the San Juan Mountains. And indeed, once you hit 5,000 feet, conditions start to go downhill, right as you go uphill. It starts out as a nice light snow flurry, but then the wind kicks in. Before you know it, the wind is whipping up enough to start blowing wisps of snow across the road. It's an ominous sign of what's to come. Given its remoteness, I unfortunately think that the wisest decision is going to be to skip the Needles district of Canyonlands National Park. Being out in the backcountry is the last place you want to be when a big snowstorm hits. And thankfully, the rangers at Canyonlands agree with me. They closed the road into the Needles district, which effectively made the decision for me. Now, let's get through that winter storm warned area before the weather gets any worse. Well, we can breathe a little sigh of relief. We're through the winter storm warning and are back down below 5,000 feet elevation. There are no major weather issues between here and Phoenix. Now let's look for something fun to do. Mexican Hat is an interesting small town just north of the Utah-Arizona border. It's named after a sombrero-shaped rock and is set in one of the most spectacularly beautiful parts of Utah. It's close to Monument Valley, the Glen Canyon Recreation Area, and even the Grand Canyon. On my way into town today, I realized that I had a bucket list item down here in southern Utah that I had completely forgotten about, and that's Valley of the Gods. Much like Monument Valley, Valley of the Gods is full of majestic spires that reach towards the heavens. Between the stunning geology, the fascinating Navajo lore, it's a truly magical and even spiritual place. The road through the Valley of the Gods is a rugged dirt track it's been on my bucket list ever since I moved to Arizona. I took a trip through southern Utah with my mom and dad in 2017, but we ran out of time to visit Valley of the Gods and ended up doing Monument Valley instead. So it's a spur-of-the-moment thing, but we're going to go do Valley of the Gods Road. And just like Arches and Canyonlands, this is a photography mission. So you can probably tell from this sign behind me that roads like Valley of the Gods are not ones that you want to be stuck on in inclement weather. And even though that we're out of the snow zone, this winter storm that's up to our north here is going to still continue to throw us curveballs. And that's mainly going to come in the form of rain. And unfortunately, there is some rain around. However, through the magic of computers, I can throw the weather radar up right here. So let's take a look at the radar. And you can see there's a couple of things on the radar that jump out at me at first. Well, first, down here in southeastern Utah where we are, it's not raining at all. It's just an overcast day. Things are dry in the valley. If it holds like this, we're good to go. However, there is one big blob of rain and snow that's off to our west here in southern Utah. And there's another one that's kind of pushing off to the north and east up into Colorado. Now I want you to look at this a little bit closer because there's one little subtle detail that really does jump out at me that could impact what we're doing. And if you look at that one up to the northeast that's going into Colorado, you can see a definite progression going from southwest to northeast. However, if you look at this one that's down closer to us, to our west here, that's really not moving at all. And I will say that having some local knowledge here, because I've been here plenty of times before, does come in really handy here. And the reason that that one to our west is not moving is because there is a series of, it's not really a mountain range, but there's a series of tall mesas there that are basically blocking that rain from moving forward, which is to the east. So from my storm chasing experience over the years, my gut is telling me that we're going to be fine, that we'll be able to get across and around Valley of the Gods here before the rain hits. Is it a gamble? Yes, but it's a gamble I'm willing to take. So let's go.
Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun. The feeling we chased, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. I'm just gonna drive. Wherever we go, we're taking control. The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy. Making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive.
Can you tell me what you wanna do? I'll do anything.
Well,
you ask
that
me
puts a
to.
wrap on both this adventure through southeastern Utah and our circuit through Utah's Big 5 national parks. Despite all the time I've spent in this part of Utah over the years, it continues to blow me away just how spectacularly beautiful it is. And like this song says, I just want to do it again sometime.
Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa, can I see you again? Can I see you again sometime? If you will be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I say, whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? I just can't stop thinking of you. Whoa, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Whoa, can I see you again? Can I see you again sometime? If you will be standing by your door, I'll pick you up at 8. I said, whoa, you wanna do it again? Again sometime. Oh, you wanna do it again? You wanna do it again sometime? Can I see you again? By your door, pick you up at 8. I said, whoa, do it again sometime.
On our next adventure, we head south of the border to Mexico for the first of our famous shrimp and tequila runs since August 2019. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected one of the top medical tourism destinations in the Western Hemisphere? Tune in next time to find out.